Hello, hello. So today it's all about how to deal with our stress. So I want to talk about this because the average person, everybody's feeling overwhelmed, stressed out, and just trying to deal with everyday life. That it's something hard to deal with. And how to manage it. I don't think people have a lot of strategies on how to deal with their stress. Okay, so we're going to talk about that. There is good stress and then there's bad stress. Good stress is, I don't know, you get excited to plan for Christmas or have a party or something like that, and that is fun. Probably stressful, but you're really excited about what's the process, what's happening, and you're so excited about doing it. And I think of a good stress is I was planning my son's senior year, like I wanted to do certain pictures. I think I stressed my son a little bit because I wanted all these different pictures. I wanted homecoming to be fun, prom to be fun. I wanted him to have moments with his friends because he had been friends with some of these kids since kindergarten, middle school. And so I just wanted it to be an exciting year for our family, and then graduation party came up. And when I tell y'all, I probably started planning the graduation party probably in January, and the party was May. I was looking at it beforehand and got through Christmas, and I started writing ideas down and what I wanted to do. And wow, just thinking about all the different things that I wanted to do, and slowly but surely I took some things out of the party so it wouldn't be too much, but it was fun. The family had a great time and they stayed till 11 o'clock, 11:30. I was like, yo, I gotta go to church tomorrow. But it was so good to see everybody and just it be a happy occasion. And that is important to me. Like, I don't want to always have moments where there's funerals and stuff when we're getting together as family. I want great times. So that's good stress. Bad stress is something that's making your blood pressure go up. You are constantly worrying about it, and you are like, I don't know what to do in this situation. So that is important. But the thing that we have to do is we have to prioritize our physical health. We have to prioritize how we interact with others because that can be stressful at certain times. We have to prioritize our goals or our life. What's important to you? Is it God, your spouse, your children? Like, how does that all flow? Is it God and singleness? You might have your career, you're working on your purpose more. Like, really thinking about how do you prioritize your life. For me, it's God, spouse, children, spiritual growth. So that ties into part of church family, my career, you know, my friends, my other family members and friends, because some people might be like, what, you put that before church? I would say my spiritual life, not just church, because my pastors feed me to help me to grow and see things. And so it's important that I have that as a high priority, because life is tough. And when you have that someone pouring into you, those spiritual nuggets, I call them, they really help you to go to the next level with God. That's important to cover and make sure you take care of. I want you to look at Matthew 6:34. That's one scripture. Also look into trust the Lord. We need to trust in the Lord. That's in Proverbs. So I have little scriptures that I'm now standing on, to have a strong foundation. So you could do that as well to help with your stress. And think about this. I want you to plan your future. Everyone should plan their future, but as you plan your future, allow God to come in and be flexible with that. God does not want us to have anxiety. It's good to have some good anxiety, but not to the point it stresses and worries us that we are not able to function the way to be productive and get the things that He wants us to do in our lives. So it's important that you focus on daily things and not worry about too much of the future. And those things that you are worried about, you need to go to God about. I went to a women's conference and they talked about having an altar, and that altar can be praising God for the great things that's going on in your life, and that altar can be when the storms come, you need a word and you need to make your altar your car, your office, your bedroom, your war room, whatever that might be. So you really need to look at those things and just be flexible for God. It's important to plan out the week, but really really focus on daily tasks so that you don't get overwhelmed. I meet a lot of women who have so many things going on and they're just like, I don't know what to do. I'm overloaded. And that is something that all women struggle. I struggle in this because I work on multiple projects and I have to press pause on those things. And just be realistic. Know that sometimes things are not going to go your way. So prepare for it. That's just the way the world is. Sometimes things are not going to go your way, and you need to realize that. And that is okay. So have a backup plan. Put yourself in that mindset. This might not go my way. It doesn't mean that you don't have faith. It's just you don't want to be to the point that you're just like, nothing goes right. You don't want to be knocked down off the pedestal. And if you knocked off on the standing rock, and if you do get knocked down, you want to be able to relax and get back up with God's strength. Okay, because you can do all things through Christ, through strengthen. The scripture is you could do all things through Christ who strengthens us. And so I just think about that God can take me through anything. I can do anything if God is in it. That's the key. Like, the key is, do God want me to participate in this? Because not every good thing you're supposed to participate. My auntie had to tell me that. And I had to start looking at my purpose. Like, people wanted me to be a part of different projects. And I'm like, okay, is that really about women? Is that about families? Is that about working with kids? And I realized that, okay, no, it's not that. So guess what? I can't participate in it. That's how it works. I'm trying to get this light to do better. And so, And so that ended up something that you need to check. Not every good thing is meant for you to participate in. All right. And I also had a situation, I'm looking at my notes, where I was in a leadership job for the first time. This was about 2 years ago, and I was consumed with work, and it got so bad, guys. I had my high blood pressure. I was having other issues. I was getting a pink eye. I was just having eye problems. I was just having all this stuff because I think the job just required so much that really the job I was doing was for 2 people, not 1. And so I had to take a mental break. I had to take care of myself. And that was important. And during that process, so I was not at that job anymore, and I ended up staying home for the summer. I had got another job by the end of middle of June, and they wanted me to come ASAP, and I was like, I can't. I really can't. I can only start in August. I'm taking the summer off. And that's because I'm typically off on the summer. When you're an admin person, you do not get the whole summer off. So that was a new transition for me. And I took it off, and God wanted me, I just rested. I spent time with my family, but I made time for myself. And my husband was like, you can stay home. You can. I was like, yeah, I can stay home, but I also need to go back because I feel like I can't do it, that I'm not good enough. So I gotta go back to work to show that I am good enough to do it. And so I just made sure I spent time with God and let Him tell me who I am. And that meant a world to me. The next point I want to have is set reasonable standards. Know your limitations and know other people's limitations. Know what pushes your button. You need to get to know yourself. You need to know what upsets you, what just gets you so angry or so stressed out that you get overwhelmed. For me, it's if I don't have a plan and we are just coasting it, I am like, what in the world? And that doesn't work for me. So it's important to know exactly what the plan is. And so, and life is not going to be like that all the time. And so I have to be flexible with that, knowing I'm not going to always have a plan, and it's not going to always go to there. But having a plan, yes, the plan might change, and I must be flexible for it. And I know it's not going to go perfectly, but I know some kind of idea, and that kind of keeps me calm. So I know if I make a plan, it kind of lets me know, okay, we're on track. It might not be perfect. It might be moving a little bit slow, but that's okay because I know what the end goal is, okay? And that's important to know. Now, this one's a big one. People, we need to learn how to calm ourselves down. As American people, we are very hot-headed people. We do not know how to control our tempers. And we do need to know how to calm ourselves down. This is important. And so, why am I talking about this? I see kids all the time. They can't control themselves. And I ask myself, well, they can't control themselves. And then I started looking at parents, and I'm like, that's where they get it from. Their parents don't know how to calm themselves. And so it's good to also let your kids see when you're in tough situations and how you handle it. And so when I get stressed, my kids will be like, Mom, you okay? No, I'm not okay. I'm upset because work was frustrating and I'm tired. So I need a pause. I need a break. You know what? I'm going to go and take a break, and I might lay on the couch and get back up. And then I'll tell them what happened at work and why I was upset. And one of my strategies is to take a break or go walk the dog or listen to some music. Sometimes I'll be like, I just don't want to talk. Don't make me talk, because I don't want to talk because I might say something that I will regret. So when I'm not in a talking mode, respect it. Now, I will make it a point like, hey, let's talk about this at this time because I don't want to say something out of anger. So those are calming strategies that I use. Listen to music. Maybe you like to draw, but you need to have a game plan. Game plan. Write it out. Don't just no, write it out so you know what to do when you're stressed. And because a lot of people are on high blood pressure medicine, and it's part of it is dealing with the way we eat, but the other part it's really dealing with our anger and our stress and just being overly tasked out. This is another strategy. When things do not go your way, laugh about it. or use laughter to calm yourself down. So a lot of times, because the world is going crazy and bonkers, election year, and hurricanes are coming, and it is just one thing after another. That's the big picture. But then you got that everyday life, raising kids, or maybe you're not raising kids, maybe you're working in corporate world and it's stressful. Just watching a funny video or watching a funny movie will bring you so much joy. So lately I've been listening to Joy Coy, Angela Johnson, Trevor Noah, can't think of his name right now. I can see his face. It's clear as day. But look up different comedies. One thing I did with my niece, was we watched Bernie Mac when she lived here, because they were raising their nieces and nephews, and that was a different family dynamic, right? And so I wanted my niece to feel comfortable. I wanted her to know that, her and her uncle and her cousins loved her, and I knew she was in a different situation. And so that video, it was funny, but it was also relatable about what she was going through. So laugh. Track when you are upset. Write down when you see things that's overwhelming you, making you feel stressed. Write it down so you can make a plan to deal with it, and have a game plan for it. Write your emotions, your thoughts, your behavior during that time. I did it one time when my son was younger. He was having a tough time. His dad had got deployed, and he was gone for a couple of months. And my son is typically, at that time, he was very energetic and fun and just a really good kid. But in kindergarten, he was like really emotional, and I took him to counseling. And before I took him to counseling, I asked his teachers to write an observation report. They did about 3, and I read them. Every time it was a transition for him to go to his speech session, I was like, got it. He doesn't want to leave his kindergarten teacher. He don't cut up for his kindergarten teacher until it's time to go to speech. And so I realized I just cut his speech sessions. He went to resource class. I cut that too, and said, look, y'all come in the classroom. Can't come in the classroom, then just don't take them out. It is not worth it. I gotta work. Y'all gotta work with them. So look, he's going through a tough situation. His dad is deployed, and he's missing him. And this is the only thing, and his kindergarten teacher is like his second parent right now. So observe, write what's going on. Take a break. God created the Sabbath day for a reason. Take a break. Sabbath day is on Saturday. Maybe you're not into that, but take a day and rest. If God realized we needed a rest, guess what? You need a rest. And what does rest look like? Taking out, taking a break, hanging out with friends, catching lunch, laughing. What is it? But also being in the presence of God and listening to worship music is something that He wants us to do. But to basically stop being busy. Stop wearing yourself out. You can't be a part of everything. You have to shut your brain off, shut yourself away from everything. Even as parents, as moms and stuff, we love ourselves so much. We wrap ourselves around our kids so much that we neglect and not take care of ourselves. And it's important that you take care of yourself. Another step, try to see things in different point of views. Your point of view is not always the right way. And that one could be tough for anybody. And sometimes I just have to pause and be like, okay, let me understand what my husband is trying to say. Let me help him with his stress, and be nurturing, and not always be like, we got to do this and this and this with this plan. but really trying to be understandable is very important, in seeing that person, what they are saying, and trying to make a plan that will benefit both parties. And sometimes it means compromising. You just have to look at that situation and figure out how you want to do that. Creating a schedule is a big deal, but know that the schedule does not always go as planned. I'll give you an example. Sometimes you are on an airplane and it delays, and you're like, I gotta get there. Some things are just out of your control, and when you have moments like that, pick up a good book, listen to some music, chill out, relax. Maybe that plane is late for a reason. I also want you to look at situations. What is the big picture? And what is what you want to accomplish? And set those goals and have time management. And to do that, what does it take to finish that project or that purpose you're working on? What does it take to complete it? Write it out. One of the strategies I use now is when I'm doing something, I go on Pinterest and I find all the tasks that needs to be completed. Like right now, next year for 2025, we're working on a conference. I'm looking at all the tasks to see what it takes to get this conference out there and done. And that is important. So write your tasks out and set real goals and real expectations. And no, you have to have that game plan and stay open-minded. Now, let's talk about procrastinating. I do this sometimes. I did not want to do ministry. To me, this is ministry. This is helping people with different issues and coming up with a plan. I procrastinated. I was like, nah, God, you're going to have to tell me like 50 million times I was supposed to teach your people. Like, is this just in my head? It's just in my head. Well, it came to the point I had prophets telling me, and I still need to know. I don't think it sunk in until my auntie told me. And that's because I trust her judgment. And that made me realize, like, okay, this is somebody I know is connected to God. And so I was like, all right, game on. And I stopped procrastinating and I started doing it. I still don't have it down packed like I want it, but I started and I'm doing it. And so this is what we're doing for Serenity. So get to work, but don't be a workaholic. I'm definitely a workaholic. At work, it'd be like 5:15. I'm supposed to get off at 5:30, and I'm thinking, what else can I task out? I've literally had to stop myself and like, no, I'm just cleaning my desk off, and I'm not taking work home at all. I gave my hours, and this is what it is. That doesn't mean I don't set goals that I might be at home and think of something about work, but I definitely put work in its place. And so by saying that, you don't want your plate more overly full, so you can be like 75% of the task you're doing. You don't want to go over 75 because then you're not doing it effectively. You start burning yourself out. And then you don't want to be lower than 65% because you're just being lazy. Let's just keep it real. And you don't want to be lazy right now. So it's important that we don't do that. Okay. Also, monitor technology. How much time are you giving on those TV shows? How much time are you giving on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, whatever you do? Hi, I'm talking to myself. I love to see what my family doing and friends are doing. And I'm not comparing. It's just cool. And then it's not really that. It's the shorts now. I like watching shorts, y'all. Instead of watching a long movie, I like watching different little shorts. And it's funny because these days, you know what? I go to sleep on movies. So I'm having to have to monitor that. So monitor yourself on technology, and really, that's just taking care of your brain when you do that, and your health yourself. Physical training and food. Physical training and food. Yes, y'all. I'm getting back into this. I'm walking now, which I gotta wrap up because I gotta go walk my dog, which is why I got him, is to walk and have something to pet. And food, I'm getting back onto eating healthy foods. I kind of stay eating healthy things because of my son. But guys, I am terrible when I'm at work. So now I have to meal plan. I have to have all my snacks laid out. I have my meals. I'm doing really good with my meals, but my snacks are horrible. So there's a chocolate that somebody is selling, or chips or soda, and I'm like, I need soda so I can keep going. No, I don't need no soda. What I need to do is stop drinking that soda for energy, and I need to make sure I get enough sleep, monitor what I'm doing, and task myself completely. So make a game plan. There are all different kinds of diets out there, but I hate using the word diet. It's lifestyles out there that you want to eat and live in your mind and body and spirit. And so what I do is I pick a person that is really strong in that area, and I follow them, and I'm like, okay. So for like eating, it's Dr. Axe for me. When I'm talking about the mind, it's Jay Shetty. When I'm talking about money, it's Dave Ramsey. When I'm talking about God and want to hear his message, it's my pastors, it's Joyce Myers, it's Priscilla, it's Jackie Hill Perry, Holly Furtick. Like, I got my 5 or 6 people I listen to for spiritual things, and that is important. Money. So take care of that mind, body, and spirit. And the last thing I want to leave you with is counseling, guys. Counseling is important. Okay, I'm going to say it again. Counseling is important. Please do not wait until your life is hit rock bottom. Do it now. I'm in the process. I want to go to counseling. I'm just trying to figure out what my health insurance is something that I want to do, because I like to evaluate myself in different seasons. I like to evaluate every area of my life. That's something that you should do, because it will help you, like, oh, I know what I want to do in this situation. Let me set my goals and map out a plan that needs to work out. And, oh, okay, this is not working out, so let me, fix it. God is, he has a vision and a plan in your life, and he gives it to you in your head, your mind, and spirit. Sometimes people come and give you this. Sometimes it comes in a dream. But it's important that you go to counseling so you can get healthy tips. And guess what? They are not connected with you. So they're not going to look at things like your family and friends are. They're going to really tell you about yourself and tell you what you need to really fix in order to get yourself back together. So that is all I have for how to deal with your stress. I hope that helps you. If you want to have a workshop and want to meet with me individually, that is free. Okay, it's a free session because I help people write out plans. If it's for women, that is free. That's part of ministry. If it's marriage, that is part of ministry. But when it starts to go into families and you really need a detailed plan, I kind of charge people for that. But the taking care of the woman or setting some goals for marriage, that is free. So I look forward to hearing from you. This is Maximize Life. Maximize Life. It's all about helping you find healthy choices, and I like to use Christian principles and other ways that God does not mind, and map out your life plan. All right, I hope this helps you. Have a good night. Peace.